One, we're live. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, bro. How you?
Oh, this has been a horrible day.
Man, I saw, brother. Yo, much love. Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, it's like one just bombshell after. First, I found out Kobe Bryant got killed in a freaking plane crash.
Word.
I'm like, what the hell? I thought it was a joke or something.
Yeah, me too.
And he lost his daughter too.
Yep.
Then we found this out when me and my cousin were doing an audition,
Hmm.
and after the audition was over, we went and got something to eat. We was with Mac, and then my cousin gets the phone call that my aunt dies.
Oh man, bro.
Then while we get that phone call, we get another phone call. Well, not a phone call, but a text. Mark was talking with Ronan, our brother Ronan. His aunt died.
Yeah.
You know, so we got all of this stuff going on, and on top of it, we have to deal with this other bullshit,
Yep.
BAIO related. So it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the family is out in full force though.
Yeah, I hear you. Peace to everybody in the chat room. I'm sorry if I can't hit y'all up individually, but I just wanna. I don't even know. I don't even know how to approach this honestly, man. Because it's like not counting the other stuff that I just talked about, but just this whole thing is disheartening on a lot of levels.
Right.
Um,
Um, you want me to go?
I'll let you speak because I gotta just I gotta get my shit together if you know what I mean.
Okay. Um.
Or if you need me to come in and back up or whatever, just let me know. I'm here.
Yo, I just realized, man. Is everybody gonna be able to call in? Because I know that do they have to set up a StreamYard account in order to mic in, or they could just jack right in?
All they gotta do is click on the link that I sent everybody and do it right through their phone.
Oh, you can do. You can't. You can do it. Nah, it tells you you can't do it through your phone.
I just did it.
Oh, word.
It
Oh,
works.
damn. I should have freaking. I would have did this a long time ago. I was at the laundromat.
Yeah, you can do it right through your phone. It's like whoever's got the link in the general chat room, just click on the link and you can come in.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
I'm gonna mute you. I'm gonna mute you for now until we say what we have to say, and then we're gonna bring everybody in so they can get a chance.
Oh my god. Sorry to hear that, sis. You didn't. Oh man. I'm gonna hit you up later. Oh my god.
Another death.
Yeah. I'm just looking at
Yeah,
that.
my condolences to you, sis. It's like just this has been a really weird day, man. This day has been extremely weird.
Hmm.
And then
Um.
yeah, go on, brother. I'm just
It's
rambling.
cool. It's cool. It's cool. So, peace and love, brothers and sisters. It's your host, brother Minister Dawud and brother Holip. Once again, your good brothers from the BAIO, the one and only true BAIO. Um, it's a pleasure and honor to have all of you here. I'm so grateful that you've come out in force like you do. And you guys always come out in force whenever we do a show. Um, I suggested that we do this show originally simply because there's a lot of confusion going on where people think that there's two BAIOs. And this is not going to be a show. I mean, it may get out of hand to some degree because emotions are going to fly. But I want you guys, brothers and sisters, to understand that mostly this show here is to kind of clarify where we stand with this and clarify who we are, what we're trying to do going forward, and you know what I mean, like what our position is. And remember, like if you really if you really want a historical background, you got to go to my show that I did on Friday, and the title of it is "You Have Chosen War." And peace, brother Dundana. And in that show, I kind of give the background, the separations, and how people separate and how groups separate. and how it what you call it, how it is supposed to be properly done, and my experience with it being improperly done. But nevertheless, we're here for one reason, really, and one reason only. We're here because it used to be the three of us. It would be me, Holip, and KalaGenesis. And we were kind of like the pioneers of the BIO. But you need to know the history first, a short history. So in the beginning, really, I was on Blog Talk Radio. I had my show. I was doing my show. Um, I was coming from a Nation of Islam construct point of view, but as I always said, doing a Muslim show for Muslims is kind of stupid. So if you're in the Morris Science Temple and you do a Morris Science Temple show just for people from Morris Science, I just think that's kind of stupid. And if you're from, the list goes on and on, because you can talk to your audience, and that's kind of limited, or you can talk to the greater world and expand your voice. And so eventually, as I was, see, when you do shows and you talk and you speak your thoughts, the thoughts that come out come from your spirit, and eventually they change you. So if you're not an idiot, and if you're not a person that's limited in thinking, eventually you begin to evolve. And so what happened with me is as I continue to iron out my view or my perspective on the Nation of Islam construct, Black people in America, and things at large, what ended up happening is I came to the conclusion that Black people needed a nation of our own. Originally, my saying is we need to what's called, we need to form a self-contained nation within the nation. My terminology, self-contained nation within a nation, really self-contained spoke to the borders. It spoke to it being closed off. It spoke to it being policed by us. It spoke to it being controlled by us. And then eventually what I began to say is we need a nation of our own off the shores of America. So and so what ended up happening is as I began to say off the shores of America, what happened is that kind of attracted me to what that kind of attracted through a mutual friend, KalaGenesis. Because originally I was vibing heavy with a brother named African Warlord X, who many of you brothers and sisters know as Brother George Walker. And me and him still are good friends today because let's be very honest, African Warlord X or Brother George Walker is a genius. He's the only dude that I know that has a physics degree from a university in South Carolina. Like, this is a smart dude. Like, not by title or by degree. Like, he's a brilliant dude. I didn't really like Kala when I met him first. Like, he came through my RSS feed, and I first heard him. I said, "Who the fuck is this dude? This dude is babbling on about nothing," and he was trying to attack a whole lot of different people. So I didn't like them when I first met him. But through through brother African Warlord X, I found out that eventually he came to the conclusion also that we should have a nation of our own. Now remember, originally, if you go back to his archives in early Blog Talk Radio days, all he's doing is either talking about Africa or politics in America. And I must say that again. He's either talking about Africa or politics in America. And so eventually he came to the same conclusion I did. We need a nation, but he was like, we need a nation in Africa. And I don't even think it was nation. I think it was more so we need to start building on the continent and doing and doing business on the continent. That's all it really was. So I remember one day on Facebook, because I started all my posts on Facebook on my page, my former page, which was Minister Dawud before Facebook dubbed the minister title. All my posts started to become about we need a nation. So me, African Warlord X, and Kala was roasting some fool one day. Yeah, I was down with that stupidness at one point. And I said, we the only people on Facebook talking like this. And Kala said, no, there's another brother, and his name is Holipsism. And he tagged brother Holip. So in tagging Holip, I remember I added Holip, and Holip is not the kind of guy that warms up to you right away. He's not the kind of guy that just lets you in the circle, and rightfully so. And so therefore, I remember Holip used to comment, and he used to like make posts about like comics, and this is long before Marvel started doing comic movies and like stuff like kaiju videos, like Pacific Rim and stuff like that. and I would comment on his post, and he would stone cold ignore me. I got his attention one day when I said I didn't like Pacific Rim, and that was enough to draw him out. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, what happened was is I started doing shows, and I invited Holip and I invited Kala so we could discuss this whole nation within a nation of our own thing. So eventually, Holip came skeptically, you know what I'm saying, to my show, and I remember, you know, in the beginning, like he came, and then there was some of his friends that would come, and so none of them really trusted me because, you know, I'm a Muslim from the Nation of Islam, and they thought that I was just basically on my Nation of Islam stuff. But eventually, as he heard my voice and he heard what I was talking about, he was like, "Yo, wait a minute, this dude talking like the way I'm talking." So eventually, one day I woke up in the morning and I saw I was added. This is very important what I'm getting ready to say. I was added to the already functioning group, Black African Infrastructure Organization. I was like, oh, shoot, you guys got a group? Now, mind you, brothers and sisters, I used to say we need a nation of our own off the shores of America and a self-contained nation within the nation. But I never said that we needed land, infrastructure, and nations. I never said that because I didn't know that concept. What I was taking a long time to say, Holip had brilliantly broken down into 3 words. So I remember the first time I heard him, because really I heard it. It's not like nobody broke this down to me. What happened was one day somebody really pissed Holip off. So he did this show, and I don't remember what the title of it was, but I know on that show, Holip was famously saying 4 to 5 times, land, infrastructure, and nationhood, nigga. So I remember listening to this and laughing, but then I said, hey, wait a minute. What was those 3 words you used? Land, infrastructure, nationhood, nigga. And I remember listening to this. So then I started vibing with him. I didn't have his phone number yet or anything like that, but I started vibing with him. I said, yo, what is up with these 3 words? And as he broke it down to me, then Holip did his legendary YouTube video about hard infrastructure, soft infrastructure. If you haven't heard it, you need to hear it. And when he did that, brothers and sisters, I was hooked. I was hooked. I was hooked. So then what ended up happening at that particular time, we were still down with a brother named Tim Ford. But brother Tim Ford and his boy, and I forget what his boy's name was, they more so was down with trying to basically lock up blocks and like police blocks and do certain things in America. And the thing about it, brothers and sisters, you got to understand my background. Like, I didn't start doing stuff when I was on Blog Talk Radio. I have been banging in this movement since I was 19 years old, and we're talking about 1992. So I have knocked on doors when it was in the cold. I have sold papers in Florida in 100-degree weather. I have done all of that stuff. So at the age of 30, I forget how old I was, and maybe I was like 39, 40 or something like that. I was not interested in policing the block in America no more. I was not interested in doing that. What I wanted was to solve this problem because I had been doing this for so many years. And even though I knocked on doors, we had rallies and we sold papers, all this kind of stuff, the problem continued to persist. And so my theory was, let's solve the problem. And what is the problem? The problem is that we can't really solve this problem under the enemy's government and the enemy's auspices. So we needed a nation off the shores of America. Anything that we do here, Holip brilliantly described as like data entry, which is no matter how much work you get done, the next day they're gonna come to your cubicle with a pile as big as it was yesterday. And that's what the Black movement in America was. It was nothing more than a data entry pile. And so eventually it was me, it was Kala, it was Holip, it was Tim Ford, but Tim Ford eventually kind of alienated himself. Even though he was connected to us, he kind of alienated us. So we used to go to war with Tim Ford on Facebook because all he did was yell and scream about how people ain't organizing and people ain't protesting. And we used to tell him people ain't protesting because they're tired of protesting and they're tired of organizing. Now, this is not any way for me to disparage Brother Tim Ford, because if you ask us, even though we're not like really connected to him, me and Holip, we still love Brother Tim Ford. We do. We both love him. He's a friend of ours on Facebook. But we just have different ways of seeing things and different philosophies. So eventually when Tim got out of the picture, that's when me, Holip, and Kala really started firing home this land infrastructure nationhood thing. So what ended up happening, brothers and sisters, is that at this point, I was always down to spend my money. I was always down to donate. And I was like, look, let's have a radio show. I said, I'll sacrifice my show, but let's come up. Holip was like, nah, we need to come up with a Black African infrastructure radio show. So, there was a lot of stalling and there was a lot of delay. And I was like, yo, I'm ready to jump on the mic. What's wrong with y'all? And I remember Holip was like, look, brother, calm down, because I don't want to put out, I don't want to start a show and we can't make it. I said, bro, if you start that show, I'll choose my day, and I guarantee you I'll be there. So I was Thursday, Holip was Wednesday, Kala was Monday, sometimes Tuesday. I think Jonathan Hill was Friday, and no, as a matter of fact, Thomas was Monday, Kala was Tuesday, and sometimes Sunday night. Because Kala fancied himself as a preacher, which he damn sure isn't. So he would, his Sunday night preaching or whatever, and he'd get up and spew his bullshit. Either way, so what ended up happening was I took the lead and I really started doing shows, because the more I talk, the more I love the concept. And if you go to our Blog Talk radio show, you see a lot of shows done by me, because I was not playing around. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, we all was chipping in, because Blog Talk radio cost $40 a month back then. So we all was chipping in to kind of fund this radio show. So from that, we was like, all right, you can't really be on a radio show if you don't give money. So let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, and this is the God's honest truth. Sometimes Kala would give, sometimes he wouldn't give. Sometimes he would donate, sometimes he wouldn't donate. And we kept saying to him, look, go to your PayPal and make it an automatic deduction. He wouldn't do that. And so, oh yeah, well that's when everything blew up. Well, I'm getting to that, Sister Queen. And so what ended up happening is that I would always give my amount, Hulk would give his amount, Thomas would give his amount, everybody else would. Kala would give his discriminately. So in other words, he would give his part, and Holip will come on here and tell me if I'm lying, but he would give his depending on if he was mad at us or not. You know what I'm saying? So if we did something like we called him out or something like that, he wouldn't give that particular month or those months. And then sometimes he would. And you would always see him in the chat room saying things like, oh, I'm behind on my payments. I got to catch up. What the fuck do you mean you behind on your payments? It's $10 a month. How can you be on? Let me ask you something. You in the chat room. I don't care what your economic situation is. You're telling me that you can't have an automatic $10 come out your bank account every month for something that you say you love? You're telling me that if you're on Facebook and you're bragging about how you got a 6-figure business, you can't come up with $10 a month? And so, it is what it is. So eventually what ended up happening was Blog Talk Radio kind of got played out. And as Blog Talk Radio kind of got played out, YouTube started becoming more prevailing. But at this particular time, what ended up happening is we had like a little bit of a dust up on our site, because after that, then we was like, all right, well, we're trying to get a website together. So if I'm going to be truthful, what I would say to you is this. What I would say is that what I would say is that originally Kala and a good brother named Emil, they invested in the website and they put the site on Ning. However, excuse me, I don't want to say invested, because that means money, and this nigga don't really invest money. What I'm going to say is he commissioned Emil to make the website. We paid for it. I want to say that again. He commissioned Emil to make the website. We paid for it, because we had a bank account set up. Thomas Thomas, tell me if I'm lying. And so once the website was, you know what I'm saying, we had it, because we had a surplus of money. But what I'm leaving out is periodically Kala would do some dumb shit by himself. And what it is that based on observations that precede correlation is positive connotation. I'll get around to that, big brother. Whoever you are, Mr. Blue, peace, brother Blue. So what ended up happening was periodically Kala would take the money from the bank account and he would enhance a post on Facebook. And I would be like, yo, wait a minute. Nobody authorized that. Nobody authorized you to enhance a post. You know what I mean by enhance a post? He would pay money so that Facebook would make the post get more views. And this post usually would be like a show of Holips or whatever, because let's not get it twisted. Brother Minister Dawud is very charismatic. Brother Minister Dawud is a monster on the mic. But the most magnetic person in this group is Holip. Perioso. People show up for Holip like Voltron. That's why I call him. I call him the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll form the head. Because me, I'm the genius from Wu-Tang, but him, he's Voltron. You know what I'm saying? He's the black lion. When he does a show, everybody shows up. And so what happened was is that he would do shows, and they would be good shows. And Kala would enhance these shows with money from the bank account. That's like $60, brothers and sisters. And nobody authorized that. So periodically we would see him do stuff like this. So listen, Holip, do I have permission to really tell the business, bro? Do I have permission?
You are not being held back in any way, shape, or form. Anything you want to say.
Okay, and am I on point thus far with history?
Yep.
Okay.
Like in the words of my brother, I'll stop you when you start lying.
Okay, cool. All right. So you remember when that nigga was enhancing posts on Facebook, and we told him nobody told him to, and stuff like that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And this is like $60. Like, we didn't have $60. You know what I'm saying? And so, so anyway, so what ended up happening, brothers and sisters, is that, oh man, where was I at with this? Oh, so what ended up happening is we started seeing him use, it's not like he was putting the money in his pocket. I would never say that, but he was just using it indiscriminately. So we got together with Thomas, and we was like, all right, we gotta take money out of this Negro's hands, because he's treating it like it's his, like he can do whatever he wants to with it, and we gotta meet on this. So let me just say this to you. If you're in the chat room today, right, and you're here just to listen, but you are a KalaGenesis sycophant, and your intention is to go over there and you're going to be with him, this is kind of the prelude of what you're going to get, son. This is what you're going to get. You're going to get a dude who indiscriminately uses your funds the way he feels like it. And so what ended up happening, right, is eventually Thomas and Hollow got together, and we took the bank account out of his hands. Oh my God. When we took the bank account out of his hands, he stopped paying his $10. So understand something. At this point, we had Hollow, myself, my name is my name, brother Born Allah, commonly known as Garrett, and a couple of other people. We were admins. We were all paying $10 a month. You know what I'm saying? We were all paying $10 a month. He wasn't paying. And so one day, if you're near and dear to the chat room that we have on Facebook, you may remember this. At some point, Holla put in the chat room, these are the names of the people who's not paying monthly. And Kyle's name showed up on that. Oh boy. Anyway, so what's called? He wasn't on the name. So he was like, so what ended up happening is Holip called me one day. I was on my way to work. I remember exactly where I was at too, because I was still contracting at that time, and I was on my way to Ravina, and Holip had called me. He said, bro, do you know that this nigga has not been paying his part of the $10 for a year now? I was like, get out of here, son. I was like, get out of here. He was like, yeah. He was like, so I was like, what is the reason for this? The reason is because he couldn't control the money. He like they say, he put his thumb in his ass and acted like a baby. And you know what I'm saying? And so therefore what ended up happening was eventually he was like, all right, I'm gonna start contributing again. And I don't know that he ever did. I really don't. But at this point, we kind of was slowly but surely wresting control of things out of his hands, because we knew that him indiscriminately moving is not in the is not in the best interest of BIAO. It wasn't that we hate him. It wasn't that we conspired against him. We not supposed to be moving unilaterally. It's a council. And the reality of it is that when you move by yourself as a dictator, that is contrary to what contrary to what we've been saying to y'all on these videos. Imagine this. Here it is. I come on all these shows and I say, as a BIO, we want to move as a collective. Yes, we have pioneers and we have admins and things like that, but we want to move as a collective. We want to make sure we vote before we move. And then we got one nigga as an admin doing his own thing, just doing what he feels like doing or how he feels like doing it. And what I would start noticing is that when dude would go onto Dinah's show, he wouldn't say he represent the BIO, but you would never hear him say land infrastructure nationhood. You'd never hear him say that. And my thing is we're not parrots and we're not zombies, but we have a unified message. I want to say that again. We're not parrots or zombies, but we have a unified message. And the unified message is land, infrastructure, and nationhood. That clears up all the confusion. So back in the day when I was a young person in the Nation of Islam, any mosque around the country you would go to, we all opened up the same. We all had the same leader. We all had the same books that we spoke from. It was unified. That minister was able to use his creativity in order to express the message, but it still had the same elements no matter what city you went to. And let me tell you something. If you got caught not having like those elements in your message, you get your ass bounced out of there and you might get fucked up too. Because we took that very seriously. Because that's just like, that's the same way as McDonald's and how they make sure that you sell the same hamburgers, they cook the same time, they got the same bread, you understand, the same what's called seasoning. And so therefore, brothers and sisters, oh boy. And so therefore, brothers and sisters, the reality of it is that these are some of the things that began to happen. So eventually what we saw that as we started developing, periodically, not only would this dude attack men in the group, he would attack women also. And there was one dust up that was defining. This dust up happened a little bit before we took the bank account out of his hands. And that was when there was a young brother in our group, and his name was Jonathan Hill. Jonathan Hill's still not with us to this day because of some other bullshit. But Jonathan Hill is a young, bright, very intelligent brother, the kind of person that the BIO is looking for. And his father, not only the thing that is ill about brother Jonathan is he's a second generation land surveyor. He's like a second generation land surveyor. His dad gave him books on the craft that he chose and loved. Do you understand how rare that is? I'm second generation locksmith. And I'm second generation, I'm second generation electronic security. That is very rare, brothers and sisters. It's very rare that a skill like that gets handed down. And so what ended up happening was that there was a dude that rose up against Kala. I think he was Jamaican or some shit like that. And Kala started attacking him, not according to who he was, but according to where he came from. We don't need Jamaicans over here. We don't need people from the Caribbean. The people from the Caribbean is this and that and this and that. And I was like, hold up, that's not BAIO philosophy. That's your philosophy, dude. Nobody said we can't have people from the islands. We're looking for black people who want a nation of their own. Nobody ever said it's limited to people from America or the islands. So it's sort of like this nigga was trying to create an ADOS before there was an ADOS. And so Jonathan wasn't trying to hear that shit, though. Jonathan was like, nah, listen, I think that we should include everybody because Jonathan's boy was Jamaican, this dude from from Atlanta anyway. And so be that as it may, they started this big fight, and they would fight in the chat room, they fight on Facebook, they even fought on Blog Talk Radio. I had to call both of them to calm them down. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm doing damage control with grown men, and this nigga is driving the brightest young star that we have in the BAIO. The brightest young star that we have. So listen. So, and Salima now can bear witness to what I'm about to say. So after that happened, may Allah be pleased with them, the BAIO used to have a big teddy bear that was a warrior named Dev, Andre Devontae Carter. And Dev, you know what I'm saying? Like Dev was Holip's friend in the beginning, but he knew Salima, he knew Mac, he knew the rest of them. And so, like, here's the thing. I wasn't in the inner circle at that particular time. But I met Dev, and Dev automatically loved me. Automatically loved me, like out of nowhere. Like Dev would never let me get off the phone before he said, brother, before you go, I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're from Brooklyn, then you know the legendary gang called Decepticons. Dev was a founding member of the Decepticons. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, you would look at this gang as this murderous, notorious gang, whatever. Here's a brother with a heart of gold. And so the reason why I bring Dev up is because after he did that, after Colin did this thing with this Jonathan Hill dude, what ended up happening is that Dev was like, all right, if we don't have a meeting with this dude and throw him out of here, I'm gonna find him and punch him in his face. You know what I'm saying? And we was like, all right, so me, Kala, Thomas, Salima, Suitanet Ty, I think, and like a couple of other people, we all was trying to gather, we're going to have this meeting. Guess who didn't show up for the meeting? It wasn't Dev. Guess who didn't show up for the meeting? And what we called it, it was funny as hell. I don't know if y'all remember that, but we had, we had the name of the chat room was the Kala Come to Jesus Jesus chat room. It was hilarious. Remember that, son?
Yeah, I remember.
So Dev was in it. Dev was hyped. I mean, listen, we're years away from somebody punching you in the face through the screen, but Dev was working on finding a way. Dev was working on finding a way. You know what I'm saying? He was going to punch him in his face, and we was all there, but Colin never showed up. He knew what time it was. He knew what we was going to do. So we kind of let it go. You know what I'm saying? We kind of let it go, and we kept sweeping this shit under the rug. But unfortunately, the more we swept it under the rug, the bigger it was getting. And the more we swept it under the rug, the more people. See, I said this a long time ago, and I'll say this to you, brothers and sisters. Brother Mashiach can bear witness, and so can Sister Salima. In the confines of religion, in the confines of even black nationalist groups, you are not judged by the men, you're judged by the women. That's real talk. Dudes do not judge your congregation by how many dudes you have. They judge your congregation by two things. Number one, women. Number two, children. I'm going to say that again. They judge your group, organization, and congregation by two things. Number one, women. Number two, children. The reason being is, it is fucking easy for you to get women and children to join the church. It is hard for you to get women to join a black nationalist group, brothers and sisters. Now, this is no disrespect to any of you sisters in that chat room, because you have a different heart, but you know as well as I do, how many of your friends are in the BAIO? How many of your sister friends are in the BAIO? How many of your sister cousins are in the BAIO? I rest my case. And so, if you have women in your group, and Lordy B, if you got children in your group, first of all, people show you respect, but second of all, people really get jealous. So women are sort of like the lifeblood and their gold to any black organization, because it legitimizes what you're trying to do. And you know what the impression that it gives off when you have women in your group? It's safe. It's safe. That's the impression. Because women don't go anywhere, and they damn sure just don't jump into black nationalist groups. So when they see you have a large amount of women, and let's not get this twisted. This is no disrespect to any of y'all. When I say women, I don't mean women in their 60s or 70s that ain't got another goddamn thing to do. I'm talking about young, attractive women in their 20s and 30s. When you got young, attractive women or young women of marriage and childbearing age in your group, you get a lot of respect, B. Because what that means is, and then people come to you and they say, yo, what are you doing that we not doing? So why am I laying this foundation? I'm laying this foundation because every single woman in the BIO at some point has come to me to complain about KalaGenesis. At some point, either myself or Holip have received some kind of complaint. And I remember back in the day when we were trying to get Suit and Tie into the BIO. That's a sister that used to be with the Armored Raw Squad. And it's kind of a powerful, conscious sister. She used to be with Dr. York. Very, very intelligent sister. She has, I forget exactly what her Blog Talk radio show was, but I listened to it one day and my head was hurting. My head was hurting. That's a very intelligent sister. And we had her in the group. How long did it take Kala to run her out of the group, bro? Like a half an hour, right?
One conference call.
Exactly. One conference call. And blam, she was out of there. Because
she said, in her words, she said that Kala had verbal diarrhea.
So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, God damn. Like I'm looking at this. You know, I always look at things through my experience lens. And I'm saying to myself, damn, if you ran her out of here, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love Brother Ish, and I got love for maybe one or two other. But I'm a Raw Squad back in the day. There was some wild dudes a part of that, and she was there, and they didn't run her out of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they didn't run her out of that, how do we look running her out of this? You figure, deal me? How do we look running her out of this? So this is when I began to see. This is, you know, and I said to Holip one day, I think it was around there. I said, bro, one day we're gonna have to get rid of this nigga. One day, I don't know how it's gonna be, but one day we're gonna have to get rid of this nigga for real. And so therefore, that was just one of the instances. There was other instances where there was conference calls, and I couldn't listen to the conference call because when women would try to speak, he would talk over the women and yell over the women and things like that. And I was just like, God damn, they're coming to this organization because we have said that we're going to give them a voice. And here you go talking over them So our brand and our messaging is inconsistent because here it is, we're saying what we're saying, and you're totally contradicting what we're saying by totally overpowering the women. Like the women don't need no voice. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. There's stuff that he said. Holip know what time it is. There's stuff that he said in the private that we will never repeat to y'all. You know what I'm saying? There's stuff he said about women that we'll never, about how y'all don't deserve to be in leadership positions and things like that. And so therefore, I'm not even gonna get into all of that. So eventually what ended up happening is sometime last year, how did, bro, do you remember how that incident happened where you questioned your loyalty?
It's been so many incidents that's happened that I'm kind of losing track. I like tested my. He was saying something about my loyalty when it came to what?
No, you know what? Somebody was attacking his stupid ass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 9 times out of 10, the people attack him have legitimate gripes. But I think that we were questioning why he was fighting with somebody, and he was like, you brothers don't have my back, or
Oh, it might
specific.
have been Frank. You think
It's
it was
possible.
Frank?
It's
It probably
possible.
was Frank because Frank and him get into it and go back and forth. Frank is a brother, in case nobody knows, from Facebook, who's from South Africa,
Right,
and
right.
he's Kala's mortal enemy. If Kala
Yeah.
is
His doppelganger.
Batman, then Frank is the Joker.
Yep. So we was trying to chastise him about this, and he questioned Hollow's loyalty, and that was a big factor. That to me, like I've been with my brother, I've eaten at my brother's house. You know what I'm saying? As far as when I say my brother, I'm talking about Hollow. I've been to his house. I've eaten out with him. We've done a lot of different things together. That is the first time I saw him get like that with somebody. That's the first time because when he questioned his loyalty, and even me, I sat there and I was like, "Bro, you gonna do that? Oh yeah, damn, Jason, who are you? Do you see what this dude just wrote? That's accurate."
Yeah, you know who Jason is. Jason was on there during the time when Jonathan was there, and yeah, I don't want to get into all of that, but
But
he's
he's
been
right
there
what he's
for a
saying there,
while.
though.
Yeah,
He's
we used to
right.
talk to him. Yeah.
He's right what he's saying because yeah, he ran Chef Rob. We had Chef Rob with us, and Chef Rob is a brother, a positive brother that was in the military. That you know what I'm saying, is now growing food and doing a whole bunch of stuff. Loves Africa. Is very militant. And oh my God, like he ran him off. If he wasn't attacking him about smoking weed, he was attacking him about other things. And it was just like, and Chef Rob would say, "Nigga, how you gonna attack me about smoking weed when you smoke cigars?" You know what I'm saying? So either way, but back on the jack. So we had this three-way conference call, and I remember this because I was on the job putting in some vertical panic bars, and man, that conference call screwed that job up, son. I never told you that, but
Really?
yeah, it did. Like I fucked that job up major. Like I had to go back to that job at least 5 times because I cut a rod too short. It's just a whole bunch of things because I'm trying to focus on this conference call and it was disturbing. And it really like, and me putting in vertical panic rods, I love doing that. And I screwed that job up majorly. Screws were missing, all sorts of crazy shit. Thank God I don't work for that dude no more. But anyway, either way, so that was the major faction, and that led way to the beginning of the break off because then there was like tension between the two of them and they wouldn't talk. So Colin would call me periodically and I would talk to Holip. I talked to Holip like twice a week. And but the two of them would never talk. And so now, you know what I'm saying? Like now this dude is now, instead of dealing with us or whatever, this dude is going on Dyna's show to build his personal brand. And so we're looking at this and we're saying, damn, he's not mentioning me. He's not mentioning Holland. All he's talking about is his own stupid shit that he talks about. There's thousands of people in the chat room mad trolling this dude saying he's talking bullshit. And you're not really representing the BAIO. And what would happen is Deontay would come to us, Patrick would come to us, Bradley would come to us, all of the young brothers would come to us and they would say, yo, the message that you guys speak is totally different than the message that he's going on Dyna's show with. He's not talking nationhood, and we would have to sweep it under the rug because we wasn't ready for this. So eventually, brothers and sisters, with this, what would happen after the dust up with Hollip and Kala? Kala then comes out of nowhere and says he trademarked the BIO name, and we're like, who the fuck told you to do that? And he goes, well, because I guess he didn't put my government name on. He put Dawud Muhammad, and which is not really my government name, and he put Holip's name. He put his name on. He said he put all three of our names on it, and he's going to trademark it. And I said, and he said the reason why he did this is because he felt that Patrick and Bradley were going to try to steal the name. And I was like, what? They formed their own organization, and the organization has a name. He was like, yeah, but that just shows me that people are gonna try to steal our name. And I'm like, well, first of all, you can't trademark it because you didn't come up with it. Because if you was to go into the BIO, now we done took him out the group, but if you was to go into it, it would show you Kala was in that group for like 7 years, but BIO is 10 years old. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tells you that he wasn't there in the fucking beginning. And so therefore, what you call it? So that was one of the major drivers, you know what I'm saying, the wedge. So eventually what happened is we knew we had to take the power out of this nigga's hand. We just knew it. But at the same time, we also knew that Ning site was old, archaic, and it was stuff that you couldn't do. And because the Black Lion, commonly known as Holip, would draw a lot of young, talented people, and you give me a little bit of credit, but you give him. What ended up happening is we started drawing IT people in, we started drawing networking people in, and so these people would come and they would want to help us. So we was like, so now we had enough people to build a greater website that we didn't have to pay for. Now, what's very important about what I'm saying right now? You know what's very important about that? What's very important about that is that, quite frankly, he wasn't paying for it. Am I right or wrong, bro?
You're right.
So here it is. This is the website that he commissioned Emil to do. He wasn't paying for it. You know what I'm saying? But he wants to take control of the website. He wants to suspend people. He wants to add people. He wants to ban Patrick and Bradley because they're treasonous and all this other stuff. And it's like, nigga, how you banning people and controlling traffic on this site that you're not paying for? So long story short, all of the good brothers and sisters, they band together and they started to, first of all, and I don't see her in the chat room, but first of all, God blessed us with a sister named Kexia. And this sister is a monster at what she does. A monster. So the first thing that she did was she took her own time. She took all of the names, addresses, phone numbers, all that other stuff in the BIO, and she organized it by name in alphabetical order, by city that you live in or by country that you live in. We never had that before. And so I started giving Kexia credit on my shows, and you can go back and listen to some of the shows where I talked about her, and he didn't like that shit. Because why? Because he doesn't like women. And so what ended up happening is the more I gave her credit, the more he came up with reasons why what she did was wrong. So what he started saying was things like, that shouldn't be public information, and it wasn't public information though. It wasn't like none of that stuff was posted on the main site. And so therefore, not only did she straighten that out, but then she started working with other members, and they made BAIOAfricstan.com. So it's a one-time fee we had to pay, and after that one time, we wouldn't have to pay every month. And I'm going to say it again. We had no problem paying every month, but that nigga wasn't paying. So you fast forward to where we are now. And what happened is this. Right before New Year's, dude texted me, or maybe he left a voicemail, and he said, brother, I know you're bothered by the strife, but this all will be handled in the new year. And I said, what the fuck is he talking about? What do you mean handle? How you gonna handle something? You know what I'm saying? Well, handle what? Handle what strife? So that was a telegraph of what was to come. And eventually what did come was what? Was that he ended up, I'm skipping over something, right, Holip? I remember when we had an admin group by text on the phone. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Thomas, and a whole bunch of people. So out of nowhere, we all discussing black issues and things that happened. I think somebody got shot and killed. I think it was the Amber Geiger situation. In the middle of us talking about this, he comes in the middle of this and says, hey, who wants to stay on the Ning site? What the fuck kind of bullshit is that, brothers and sisters? What do you mean?
Oh, yeah. Let me speak on that because I want to give some context to that.
Go ahead.
All the stuff that's happening about the updated site and the upgrade to the site is all above board. This wasn't happening behind Kala's back. Actually, Kexia wanted to include him in the text messages so he could know what's going on with the
Right.
status of the site. So this was nothing sneaky. This was nothing underhanded. And I was on the phone with Kala because one of the things, this is what let me know that the Ning site was bullshit. I was on the phone with Kala and we were trying to figure out how to download the site.
Right.
Ning does not let you download your site because what they want to do is keep you on their platform and they don't want you to take your content and go somewhere else. That's
Right.
absolute bullshit.
Right.
And this is with me and Kala on the phone.
Right.
So this is no sneaky shit going on. He knew that we wanted an updated site. The admins, and let me explain what an admin is. An admin in the BAIO is the people that contribute on a monthly basis toward the website or toward whatever we're doing online.
Right.
So you have about 10 to 12 people who are we consider admins. And I consider them more admins than Kala because Kala for a whole year wasn't contributing shit to the BAIO.
Exactly.
So how are you going to question people that's coming out of their pocket on a recurring basis every month? This is how it is with black conservative right wing thinking Fox News nationalist black folks. They all for law and order until it's a law they don't agree with.
Right.
They're all for rule of law until there's a law they don't agree with. They're all for unity until there's something. It's like they're hypocrites because the moment they don't agree with something, they go rogue and they do what we have. They do exactly what we have in this situation right now.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, I'm gonna tell you something. You tell me if this is an honorable person, and this is 100% facts, and I dare any of them motherfuckers to tell me that I'm lying.
Yep.
We have 10 to 12 people contributing to the BAIO, and they're and under the context that money is supposed to be going toward the Ning site
Right.
monthly. And I think the Ning site was something like $59, some outrageous bullshit.
Yeah, it was like
which
$60. Yep.
this motherfucker in June disconnected the PayPal account. Now the PayPal account was attached to the BAIO bank account. That's not my bank account. That's not Minister Wu's bank account. That's not KalaGenesis bank account. That's the BAIO's bank account. And that was established by our brother Thomas.
Right.
He disconnected the PayPal account from the Ning site in June of 2019. I didn't even know it. I just happened to check. I checked at the beginning of this year sometime. This was recent that I checked. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, why do we have so much money in the PayPal account? The dude disconnected the PayPal account from the Ning site, never told the admins that he did it.
How long ago was that, bro?
This was in June.
Oh, shit. Word?
So for about 6 months or more, people are dedicating their money every month and it's going straight to the PayPal account. But the question is, well, if the BAIO is not paying for the PayPal for the Ning site, who is? I'll just leave that out there. I can't make a statement one way or the other because I don't know. But I know this. The people that were the admins on that site are not paying for that Ning site. And my guess is that it's going into the pockets of KalaGenesis. That's my guess.
And here's the side question also. Man, if you disconnected the bank account back in June, then you always had aspirations of splitting up the organization. Because all that far ago, you was doing that. You did that like a half a year ago. You know what I'm saying? That means that you had a plan and you was executing your plan behind closed doors. And I remember one day, Holip was like, we got to call Kala. And I was like, all right. So we called them together because I guess Kexia had got suspended from the Ning site. So we asked him, remember this, bro?
Yeah.
We asked him, we said, yo, why was Kexia suspended from the Ning site? You know what this nigga said? He goes, I did what I had to do. I said, what? What the fuck is this? Some kind of Marvel comic movie and shit? What do you mean you did what you had to do? Where's your shield, nigga? You get ready to throw the hammer at Thanos? You did what you had to do? Like, what do you mean you did what you had to do? This is a woman that's trying to straighten stuff out with skills that you don't have, and you suspended her. But the reason why you suspended her is because she threatened his control. She threatened his control of what he was trying to do. And so, for me,
Without even, and that wasn't even her intention. Her intention was to make the BAIO site more secure and better.
yes,
She doesn't even know about half the stuff, 3/4 of the stuff that's going on with college. She didn't even know about.
exactly.
And you know what the crazy part is? What makes it, and this is to provide more context. His issue with Patrick and Bradley and Kexia is that, well, people are doing things without my authorization. Isn't that ironic?
Yep.
When this motherfucker, hold on, I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna calm down. When this dude was consistently doing things on his own without any authorization from BAIO admins,
Unilaterally.
just making decisions and doing them. But his issue is what other people are doing. And his whole thing was Bradley and Patrick and Kexia are trying to take over. But look who disconnected the PayPal account. And then you tell me, I want one person. If you're a Kala sycophant, I want you to be an honest person and tell me, is that honorable? Is that honorable? You didn't. You had people contributing to that site, thinking that they doing it to maintain the Ning site, and you disconnect them on your own, and then now you're pretending that that Ning site is the official site of the BAIO. Well, let me tell y'all something right now. The official website, we have 2 domain names. One is BAIOAfricstan.org, and the other is BAIOAfricstan.com. Right now, those sites are in development. So if you go to the .org or the .com, you're probably going to see a splash page, because Kexia was working on that today because we got a cyber attack or some crazy shit, which is interesting that it would occur right now.
It's ironic.
Yeah. But those are the official sites of the BAIO. The BAIO is not on Ning. If you go on Ning, and if you're still on Ning, you are supporting KalaGenesis. And let me give you another little nugget that I found out yesterday. On the BAIO website, there's a merchandise button there. And the merchandise goes to Cafe Press. The Cafe Press, and keep in mind, y'all probably don't even know that, because when have you heard us pushing merch on any of our shows?
Right.
Minister doesn't do it, I don't do it. It's just there. If anybody wants to purchase anything, it'll help us with maintaining the site, but we really don't even need that because we have 12 people donating, so we don't even need that.
Right.
But it's there in case somebody, because a lot of people were asking about t-shirts and merchandise, so we put it up, whatever. That was connected to our bank account. Do you know what this nigga did? I went to check it just because, all this stuff is going on. So I said, let me check out the Cafe Press. I went to the Cafe Press, and I couldn't even get in because I think he had changed the password or something. But he doesn't have control over the Gmail account that we have. So all I did was just go back, change the password, and I got inside. This nigga took all the information from the BIO, and it's under Dwayne McCullough. So if you purchase merchandise on that site, guess who it's going to? And that's an honorable dude. Stop me when I start lying.
Nope. No lies told.
So there we are. Let me see if I can bring Thomas in.
Uh-oh.
I hope we can
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay. All right, so I guess I'm partially responsible because I'm actually the one that introduced Kala.
I'm not going to blame you for that, fam. I'm not blaming you for that.
Yeah, I had the brilliant idea of trying to do an Avengers team up, getting people from throughout the different facets of whether it be conscious thought or remember when I got you and Gus on the show with Ambassador Saw. Remember that back in the day? Holip?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was that was kind of what the thought process was, getting people who had different points of view and trying to find a point of consensus. I think the overarching theme is that unfortunately Kala doesn't know how to play well with others, and you can't have that kind of energy when you're trying to build something, just because those type of people, they tend to be demagogues, and they tend to have a worldview that's very authoritarian and top down, and that doesn't work for something like this. And unfortunately, um, he actually, believe it or not, improved from when I first met him.
Oh, really?
Oh, son, when I first met him, son, it was like the equivalent of a wildebeest, a wild boar, and a fucking, like, just, he would just tear people's heads off when they got on his show. He'd be like, "Come on, shit, hey!" He's like, he was like a mixture of Morton Downey Jr. and Bill O'Reilly, and just, it was crazy. Like, as far as the situation that happened with the Ning, my overarching thing, I actually said this back in 2015, 2016, is that the Ning was useless because of the fact that it was proprietary and the cost. And the thing I was trying to relay to him was that, if you're taking people's money, you have to be a good steward of their resources. And that's not being a good steward, because for $60 a month, that's $720 a year that could go towards something else.
Right.
When you can, when I even showed where you can get with a company like HostGator, you can spend $250 one time, pay someone within the BIO to create the site, and then pay like between $5 to $10 a month for hosting. Sometimes you can get hosting done for as little as $250 for 2 years. So the main problem is that there was a thought process, like, he felt like it was reinventing the wheel, but the problem is that you're taking other people's money, and you can't really justify that kind of expense when it's something this grassroots, when it would have been more efficient to create your own site, host it, and then you can say to people, look, we were paying this and we improved upon what we were doing. And so instead of you paying, we collectively paying $720 a year, all we're paying is like $100 a year for hosting, and we have a site that we own and control. And so, the fact that he wasn't even open-minded to that speaks to the problem with, his influence. It's unfortunate. I don't think that he was doing anything necessarily improper by way of trying to be a thief or anything like that. I just think it was a factor of being a control freak.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know at one point what was happening back in 2015, 2016, he was actually, like, in some cases, I know he actually paid out of his pocket for the BIO Ning site at one point.
Why?
Well, because I guess there was some times there was shortfall. So to be fair, I believe at some point he actually did pay out of his pocket and may have just reimbursed like what was missing, and then just took out. And so instead of him like putting $10 in every month, when he actually paid like for the full cost of the Ning, he might have reimbursed himself minus like $10. I know that to be true. So I don't think he was like trying to be a thief or anything, because when we finally asked him for the credentials and to transfer the money, he did. So, like, to be fair, because I really don't think we should belabor this much more, but it's just a fact of, like, sometimes certain people don't fit within the structure confines of something that's a collective effort, and he may be one of those people, and it's unfortunate, but it's the truth. It's not. I mean, I don't think anyone's saying anything to him now that hasn't been said already. I'm pretty sure if he was intellectually honest, he's probably heard these things his whole life because he's told me such that all the things that we're saying people have told him before. So unfortunately, at this age, people just don't change who their core is. And I think that's kind of where things are at. So it's just unfortunately a situation, a bad fit for what the mission is.
Word.
He's just not a team. He's just not a team player. He needs to strike off on his own. And the other thing is too is that when you're talking about something this far-reaching, this profound, this level of because we're trying to figure it out, but you guys went to, well, I know Holip went to Rwanda. One thing I already told Kyle is that you speak with a certain level of certitude and matter of factness when you really don't know. Like, you can't rely on people on the ground that you think are on the ground, whoever you're talking to, and they're telling you about a mine and a mining operation someplace you haven't been. You don't know the local politics.
Right.
Basically he was falling for the Keith Murray syndrome. Remember Keith Murray, the most beautifulest thing in the world on Lexus?
Yep.
That's basically what was happening. Like, you're talking to someone who's telling you that they have all these connections. So meanwhile, they showing you a picture with all this land behind them and like a shovel. Meanwhile, they live in the basement somewhere in a bando.
Yo, here's the thing though, and remember back in the day when he was steady trying to get us involved in these like side scams, like the freaking Kemetic pipeline and this other shit. And
well, so let me to be fair, because like I said, I don't like to make it seem like he's people beating up on him. I think there was there's believe it or not, there's a certain naivete that comes with being a zealot.
Yep, this is true.
And so when these things were presented to him, he took it, I think, in good faith that the people that he was dealing with were honest brokers,
right?
And they weren't.
Right.
And so my like for instance, like me and Holip, the very first thing when we saw the Kemetic pipeline website was the fact that the website didn't work if you put it in like cap and anything other than capital letters. Like, so how much money are you really making on your business venture if you can't even get a webmaster that's competent?
Right.
So
right.
It's just those fine details that I think he tended to overlook. Like, just like when we found out about the guy that's here in Charlotte, Pastor Rogers. Once I actually investigated this guy, I mean, I literally got into this guy's inner sanctum, like, and the emperor had no clothes. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I started asking questions, and they got comfortable enough with me, and they trusted me, and they showed me their books, and it was a horror story.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like,
Word.
I was like, yo, you cannot promote this anymore, man. And he just went full bore, like and it's one of those things. He has some things in common with Donald Trump, like from the standpoint of, even if they're wrong, be forcefully wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a problem because, people are going to look to you to be accountable, and, you don't have any credibility. Like I said, like when I started talking with, I was basically, fixing the facts, and as he ingratiated me into the fold of the people that he knew that were contacts, one of the people that he actually did have contact. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good now, yeah.
Okay. So one of the people that he put me in contact with was this guy named Lafayette Diggs, who was the former ambassador from Liberia to Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started asking questions about the land and everything, the reason that he had like so much notoriety, we put him in contact. I guess it's blog talk. He met up with some people from that LA area. They had some kind of Pan-African conference. He was actually this
bro, you're disappearing again.
How about that?
No, you good now. Yeah, you was like, you sounded like you was underwater.
How about this?
That's good. Yeah, you good.
Okay. So, he went to this Pan African conference, and it was under the impression that he had access to all this land. Like, I mean, he let people believe he had access to like 700,000 acres of property, and that he was going to be able to change the course of history in Liberia by introducing, like, widespread agriculture. Well, after speaking of Lafayette Diggs, he really only had a few acres of land that he purchased from um, Mr. Diggs, and then the rest of the land was supposedly like property of different tribal leaders. But the problem over there is that they don't have advanced land title system like here in North America. So, so they had what's called a touring system that was something that's operated by the government, but like there was no, the land, because I looked at some of the deeds and everything, and there was no conclusive way to show he had
You're starting to
ownership.
sound like
Yo, his voice.
a Mandalorian bounty hunter now.
Yeah, his voice is warbly. It sounds like it's underwater.
Word up! I expect any moment for you to pull out a thermal detonator. Like,
Because I'm on a cell phone, yeah. But but so basically, once I found this information out, I said, look, you have to stop doing this, man. Like, this dude is not who you think he is. He's not like he's a liar per se, but the guy's kind of a simple guy, and doesn't understand the different facets of business. And he made some embellishments based on bad information, and said, rather than keep promoting him, let's like let him kind of just fizzle out.
right.
And he decided, nah, we're gonna push forward, we're gonna promote this, because he really wanted to promote Liberia, but Liberia had a myriad of problems. I mean, you're talking like 80% unemployment. There's a lot of problems, and so I told him, like, we need to back away from it. So I just think his inability to admit when something's not right, it's kind of like a major problem, because when that whole thing was committed pipeline, it turns out that was a scam.
Yep.
You know, that whole spiral funding, like the way it was supposed to work was,
Oh yeah, that too.
people, so they were connected. The whole idea was that you were supposed to do a business plan, and then the whole idea was to create enough capital to fund different businesses here and on the continent. Now, the one thing that they were trying to do was start a new stock exchange that would have different requirements in order to get the company listed. Well, that was a scam, because the one thing I brought up to him was, and I'm talking about Devon, whatever his name is, was that the requirements
Devon
that
Bell.
they had, huh?
Devon Bell.
Devon Bell.
I
So
think,
one of the,
I think this dude passed away too. One of these dudes that was down
I
with this.
don't think I looked it up. I don't, matter of fact, Brian Franklin said he did pass away, that he knew him. Brian Franklin's right there. According to what Brian Franklin told me, he did not pass away. But that's another story for another day. The problem was he was going to create an exchange with basically, when I looked at his requirements, I did like a copy and paste the requirements. It was the same requirements as the NASDAQ. So
Right.
why would you go and say you're going to create an exchange that was going to take place over
Bro,
on the
listen,
continent?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, bro, but they're starting to complain in the chat room. They really can't hear you. So can you call back in with a better phone or something like that, or get into a better area, because they can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm on my phone. This is the only phone I can, because you have to be. I'm not next to a laptop. Can you not? So can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you keep it's almost like you keep disappearing. And like I said, you sound like Princess Leia with the mask on in Return of the Jedi. I just keep expecting you to pull out a thermal detonator. Your voice sounds computerized and choppy. But I guess so. Let me just summarize to the people what you're saying. Essentially, what you're saying is that because he was zealous about trying to build something and show people that he can build something, he took on a lot of false information from a lot of different parties, and these people misled him. Even though he didn't have malicious intent, they misled him. So then, after they misled him, he jumped from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing, and eventually just chilled out with the whole money idea. In my what you call it, in my judgment, when you decide to take on money, and I've talked to you about this. I remember it was supposed to be you, brother Jelani, may Allah be pleased with them, and one other brother that we were supposed to get together and talk about an investment kind of vehicle. But that's something that you really have to go slow with. And you was wise in warning us about that, and we understood it, because when you take black people's money, you know what I'm saying? That's when you really expose yourself to a lot of danger, because black people have been getting ripped off for so many years that when you start talking about taking money from black people, it's a very sensitive, very dicey kind of situation. You agree?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, do you hear me now? Or is it?
Like you come in and you go out though.
Yeah, it's just a bad connection. Like when you talk, we can hear a little bit of words, and then the rest just goes out.
So Holip, no, I'm sorry, Thomas. Let me ask Holip a question. Wasn't we supposed to get Neil and some other people calling in tonight?
No, Neo couldn't do it. He's working.
Okay, and no Bell.
I couldn't get up with Belle, but Belle is probably on her honeymoon.
Oh, word, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so hold on. Let's shift gears here.
Mhm.
Since you're in the chat room talking shit, would you like to say something about Jamal?
Who?
Jamal,
No,
because he was in the chat room talking shit.
not really.
Okay.
I'll just say this. I've met Jamal, and I've hung out with Jamal, and Jamal, we've broken bread with Jamal, and we went to Africa with Jamal.
Right.
So I'm not gonna sit here. I'm angry, and I've said things, but I'm not gonna front, man. It kind of hurt me.
Word.
I'm more hurt by him than anything else,
Word.
and I know that obviously, but that's just the point where I'm coming from, because I thought the dude was cool. He was cool every time I've hung out with him. He was cool when we were in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
places, and did things together. So it's kind of hard for me to just come at him, because that's not how I know him.
Right.
So this whole thing is just recent to me. But that this guy will say the stuff that he's saying when he's not in your face.
Right.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with who the hold on. This is my girl. I gotta. I'll be right back.
Say peace to the queen. So, brothers and sisters, in the brief float. So let me. No. Okay, so let me address this comment. I look at both sides. Y'all making our brother Kyle like he a monster. What did we say that's not true? Was you there for some of the stuff that we said? Was you there for what I've said? So you don't really know. And if you don't know, why are you commenting on it? Because all the stuff that I said is what happened. I didn't say anything that was my opinion. There was nothing. Listen, while you was gone, Jamal types, I look at both sides. Y'all making our brother Kyle like a monster, shake my head. And what I'm saying is that everything I said was history. It wasn't my opinion. I didn't say I think Kyle stinks. I didn't say I think Kyle was this. Nothing I did was a personal attack.
Wait. Let's stop the presses. Who's the homosexual that you keep referring to? I want a name.
Some guy named CD, he said. Who the hell is CD?
Oh, so then why didn't you say that to he's talking about Clarence, the guy who was the photographer on our trip.
I figured that's okay.
That's what he's talking about. So then why didn't you say that when you was with Clarence? You gonna talk shit when you get back here? We was right there with Clarence. We was in a hotel with Clarence. We was hanging out on a bus with Clarence. You never said shit to Clarence's face, but now you got back and now you calling him a homosexual?
And obviously he's not, right?
No. And I just find these are weird moves, dude. And I'm keeping it real. When we was in Rwanda, you had a problem with the tour guide, but you never had a problem with the tour guide when you was in the tour guide's face. You didn't turn into a tough guy until you got to Istanbul, Turkey.
And
then when you get to Istanbul, Turkey, now all of a sudden you Brock Lesnar?
In full disclosure, brothers and sisters, the tour guide is Belle Thanos' husband. That's Belle Thanos' husband. So even if I had a problem...
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, sir.
And you was there with me. You sitting up there talking about you slandering us, and then you talking about how we making Kala look. You on there putting out posts talking about the one BAIO is for the LGBTQ. What the fuck is that about?
Exactly.
How come you didn't approach me with that when you was right there in my face? That's some bitch ass nigga shit. I'm sorry, and I'm keeping it real, man. And like I said, I'm more hurt by this dude than anything else because I thought he was a cool dude. I did not have a problem with Jamal. Even when up until the point when he left, we was cool.
Right.
I had no problem with this dude. Now he gets back to New York and he's talking all this. Oh, one side is for LGBTQ. You a fucking liar, dude.
Okay, so let's go there.
And you got the nerve to. Oh man, I can sort of understand that why you didn't say that to Clarence when we was in Rwanda, because Clarence would have whooped your ass.
So, since you did that, let's go there. So I'm having this discussion with Kala because he had called me when the new year come, and he's talking about certain things that he might have a problem with. So he starts talking about I'm not going to say any names, but he starts talking about a certain member and how I don't think I need to get into that. You know what? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not, because that doesn't make any sense. What I will say is this. What I will say is that, number one, if you was with us, why didn't you go on the tour with us? You know what I'm saying? So in other words, I didn't go on the tour for financial reasons, obviously, and some other reasons, that some family shit that I had to pay for. But I would have went if I had the money and my family shit was taken care of. You are the one that's been talking Africa years longer than I have, talking about Kala, your brother that we're slandering. And you slandering. Go to Rwanda.
Slandering. And the crazy part about it is, but you're not serving us by talking about we down with LGBTQ. You saying that with a straight fucking face when you know you lying? And the dude that you accusing of being gay like a fucking puppy dog in front of that dude. We was there for 10 days and you got so much anti-LGBTQ, you ain't say one god.
You keep coming in and out, Holip.
Who?
You keep coming. Yeah. Or maybe it's my computer. I'm sorry.
Wait, who's coming in now?
Oh, you was coming in and out for a second, but maybe it's my computer.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you miss?
I think I heard everything you said. Clarence,
okay.
Clarence told you he was LGBTQ. You know what? This is going too far. Clarence told you he was LGBTQ XYZ. Holip ain't saying
you are a fucking liar. You are a fucking liar, and I'm telling you this on this live stream. You are lying your ass off. And had he said that, why didn't you make that information known to me while we was in Africa?
yo.
Everything is cool, yo, my brother. This is Africa, my brother. Da 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 da. To every fucking body until you get to Istanbul, Turkey, until you get back to New York. Now all of a sudden you Brock Lesnar, you down for black man, woman, and child. Get the fuck out of here. And here's another thing. The dude that you claiming is about black woman, man, woman. Where's the woman and the child?
Exactly. 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 I'm pro marriage. I'm pro straight relationship. I'm pro all of this stuff. So where's your marriage? Your straight
dude with a woman.
Exactly. Exactly. If you're pro,
you're gonna talk about slander. How are you gonna call somebody down with LGBTQ and then say that you slandering somebody?
Word.
But you know what? Let's move on to something else because I don't even want to deal with this bullshit.
Well, I just want to say this. I want to say this, and I want to be very clear. Number one, what disappointed me is the dude that you had a problem with. That's Belle's husband. That disappointed me because even if I had a problem with dude, which I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have, but let's just say I did because I'm a Scorpio. I could go left really fast. You know what I'm saying? Even if I had a problem with him, I would have never tried to hit social media with it because that's Belle's husband.
Or try to stop him from eating, which is what he did because he reported him to the Rwandan business people and he had to go and deal with that. So he tried to stop dude from eating. Why? All because you didn't do what you were supposed to do, which was book a hotel, go to Rwanda, book a flight, book a hotel, fuck whatever chicks you want to. Go to the bars, hold drinks, and gamble. Had you just done that, you could have saved some fucking money.
Right.
You didn't have to meet the Rwandan business development. You didn't have to meet any Rwandan senators. You could have just held your drink, went to your bars, and fucked your chick. Why are you getting mad at the tour guide because you went and paid for a tour that you didn't even fucking go on?
Man, I can't believe we did.
Stop me when I start lying.
Nope. I can't believe we dealing with this shit, son. Yo, brother Jason said something that I want to go back and highlight because it's very, very germane to what we're saying, and I thank him for this. He said they've been defending college for years, so don't say that they're slandering him now. That's very important for y'all.
Oh, thank who said that?
Brother Jason said that.
Let me speak on this because I don't want to get on this live stream and make it seem like we're angels.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to speak for Minister Dawud. I'm going to speak for myself. I damaged my own credibility by backing Kala.
Yes, me too.
We allowed Kala to get away with so much shit that we would, if it would had it been any other BAIO member, he would have been gone a long time ago. But because this guy was respected, people respected him, and he was a founder of the organization, we gave this guy chance after chance after chance after chance. We kept overlooking all the shit that if it had been anybody else, he would have been gone.
Yep.
So if you think that this makes me feel good, it doesn't make me feel good. I lost my fucking aunt today.
Yeah.
I'm going through a whole lot of bullshit. I'm feeling for my cousin, man, because that's his he lost his mother and he lost his grandmother within the course of a year.
This is brother Larry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting up here on this live stream dealing with some bitch ass nigga, some unhonorable, and I'm sorry, I'm keeping it real. That's how I'm feeling.
No doubt.
Who I've taken his back.
Many times.
Many times. There's been so much stuff that I could have talked about that I did not talk about. But now I'm saying it today, and now I'm being accused of slander. Fuck you.
Here's the thing. We're lying. We're lying. We never defended him. We never was down with him.
Right, exactly.
I want you to go back to all of our shows and dig into the archives and see where we said fuck Kala, we're not with him, and all this other stuff. But what you're going to hear is you're going to hear Holip say on many occasions, yes, we have arguments, but if you mess with Kala, you're going to have to mess with us.
Exactly. I've always said that.
I said it too.
Because I consider Kala a brother.
I said it too.
I consider Kala a brother, even when I was angry at Kala. And keep in mind, when I'm angry, it's because I care. Mm-hmm. So, and I told Kala that all the time. I said, listen, I'll fight with you. I'll go back and forth with you. But I love you because you're my brother.
Yep. Yep.
You got to start worrying when I stop talking to you. That's when you got to start worrying. And that's what happened to him. I stopped talking to him because he was, and it wasn't like I stopped talking to him and I didn't let him know why I stopped talking to him because I was on the phone with Minister Dawud. He's right here.
Yep.
If I'm lying, he can tell you.
It was a three-way.
I told him on the phone, I said, you are fucking exhausting, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You are exhausting. Your personality, it's like when I get on the phone with you, I feel like I just ran a fucking marathon. That's how exhausting you are. We can't have you in the circles. But that we want to, I've debated whether to put him in our general chat circles and other
Many
circles where
times.
we have many times, and I've actually questioned Dawud about it, and he said, "Nah, man, because you know what's gonna happen."
Yep. I more so was worried about the woman because I didn't want to subject y'all to that, brother.
Yeah, that too. The women were gonna get run out, and it was gonna be a fight because if Kala can't fight you out, if he can't find a fight outside of the BAIO, he's gonna find a fight inside of the BAIO.
Yep.
He'll fight with me. He'll fight with minister. He'll fight with members. He'll fight with sisters. The nigga just loves to fight.
Word.
Jamal, get your bitch ass out. Take this nigga out the chat room because you a fucking liar. I can't believe that I even actually had any fucking respect for you. Kick that. Why don't you call? I'll give you Clarence's number. Call Clarence's number up and tell him that he's a gay dude. I dare you.
Salima, you got the green light, sis. So
I dare you. I'll give you Clarence's number. Clown ass nigga, man. I can't believe. And what bothers me is that I broke bread with this dude.
you know what bothers me? What bothers me happened between two brothers and a woman. And it wasn't nothing funny. It wasn't nothing, you know what I'm saying, like illegal. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, he started revealing these details and chuckling at the same time. And I'm sitting there like, yo, are you serious? Why the fuck would you go over there with everybody and then come back over here and tell a nigga like him what's going on? And not even a nigga like him. Let me not say that. Why would you come over and tell somebody like him these intimate details? Why would you do something like that? And to me, when you do something like that, and let me tell y'all, brothers and sisters, like I'm by trade, you know, I'm a book reading dude, but I did spend some time on the streets, a little bit of time. And a little bit of time I spent on the streets has affected me for the rest of my life. And one thing I've always had is I've always had a relationship with street dudes. That's why I can do a domestic violence class 2 times a week that is full of dudes mandated by parole, because they got respect for me, because I don't look down on brothers and sisters. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, one thing that I learned from my time on the streets is everything has a code. Everything has a code, and there's definitely a code between brothers. There's certain things that's written, there's certain things that's unwritten. And so when you go and you hook another brother up on some you know, let me hold you down some shit, and then you come over and you tell you tell another dude that you know is not going to keep that information, is going to try to make fun of them, that's when I start looking at you differently.
It's called being a bitch ass nigga. Let's keep it real, son.
Word.
Because that's what I'm going to try to do in the future, is just keep it real and not try to coach things because I'm close to a person. Let's just look at their actions and call it for what it is. You're a bitch ass nigga. You went on a trip with people with good people. This dude that he's trying to denigrate and trying to slander, that's where the real slander is coming from. This dude was the photographer on the trip. We didn't even know. Like we were trying to get a photographer to go on the trip to capture, you know, all of the sites and stuff. We didn't have one. He happened to be one. And he's giving us access to his Google Drive. The dude is taking fantastic pictures in Rwanda. We've gone to eat dinner, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with Jamal right there in front of Clarence, and he never said jack shit to Clarence. Now he gets to New York, and now all of a sudden Clarence is gay?
Here's what I want to know, though. Here's what I want to know, in addition to what you're saying. Okay, so let's just say, for instance, you guys took that dude with you, and he was gay, and you knew he was gay. All right, let's just use that argument, right?
Okay.
So how the fuck did his homosexuality change the pictures that he took?
How would you have even known that he was homosexual? Is what I want to know.
Yeah, exactly.
How would you have even known that? What did you? You know what I think? No, you know what? I'm gonna listen to my cousin. I'm gonna be cool. I'm not gonna do it. I'm I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna listen to my cousin. My cousin said be cool. So just to honor him, I'm not gonna do it.
Word.
Not gonna do it.
Okay. So anyway, I guess I guess we got to wrap this up, right?
Um, yeah, basically the bottom line is BAIO. Right now we're under construction because we had to switch the site over because we're switching hosts because we've been hit with a cyber attack on all of a sudden. I don't know where that's coming from, but I just find the timing very odd. But luckily for us, we have 3 monster IT people that's on the job, and they basically took care of that shit like within an hour.
Right.
In terms of like the cyber attack. So we're not worried about that anymore. Right there, what we're really trying to do is find the right theme for the site, and we're just working on the site. So it's going to be 3 people working on the site right now with our IT group. And go to the site because you can actually put yourself on the list so that when the site becomes live, it'll let you know. So I'm letting you know right now, we got Minister Dawud and we got Holip telling you that the BAIO is not on the Ning site. If you go to the Ning site and if you donate to the Ning site, if you purchase merchandise from the Ning site, that is going into the pockets of KalaGenesis. I know Thomas said that he ain't trying to get money, but I'm just keeping it real. If he ain't trying to get money, why would he go to the Cafe Press and change all the information to his own personal information?
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm just keeping it real, son.
No doubt. What I want to say is, brothers and sisters, listen. You now know the history. There's a lot more I can tell you, but it's just not necessary.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know pretty much how we got to this point. But here's what I would give you as a point of reference. Jonathan Hill doesn't really deal with us that much. But add Jonathan Hill on Facebook and go through everything I said to you today. Ask him if it's true. Because that's as independent as you get. That's as independent as you get. Go to Jonathan Hill and say, listen, Dawud said this, then that, and next thing happened with Kala. Is that true? And Jonathan is going to kind of dance around in the beginning because he's a good brother and he doesn't like to talk about people and stuff like that. See me, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, he'll do that. But eventually, if you get him talking, he'll fill your ears because he was there. You know what I'm saying? If you don't believe Jonathan, then you could go to Salima Samad. You know what I'm saying? She knows a lot of the stuff that we're saying is not new to her. She knows that this stuff happened. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different. Who's this now?
Emoji?
Oh, peace, good brother.
Is he there?
His icon is here, but maybe his mic is not on.
Yeah, him and Thomas are on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm just giving y'all some references if you think I'm lying, because he said y'all trying to slander the good brother Kala and get the fuck out of here, son. Well, I'm telling y'all the exact history.
Yeah.
Exactly.
First of all, you can't accuse other people of slandering when you slander.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's like these things did happen, and as far as I'm concerned, there's really nothing more that I got to say. You know,
I wish we could get Helena on, man. I wish that we could, like, Helena was on the trip with us. Everybody that was on that trip with us, if you guys have any questions, you can ask, because I find it funny that we went on that trip and everybody enjoyed themselves. The one nigga that had a problem was the dude that was in the chat room.
Yeah.
Calling somebody, and I'm going to tell Clarence what he said about him, so I hope he got some hand skills if they ever meet. Because I have a feeling that Clarence is going to bust his ass. I got a feeling. I'm reading the tea leaves. And I'm going to say this again, and like I said, when I'm lying, you can stop me. This nigga Jamal went to Rwanda, went ate breakfast, lunch, and dinner with us. He didn't do the whole tour. He missed a great part of the tour because he was, whatever. And this is the dude. He never said to this dude, around him multiple times, never said anything about him being gay.
Right.
He waits till he gets to New York. And Clarence lives in California, so he made sure that he was a coast away before he started talking that bullshit.
Yep.
And this is the person that we supposed to be listening to. Listen, if anybody you can go to this Akala sycophant can point to the facts, can point to me or Minister Dawud lying, you bring him and I'll put him on this goddamn show.
Yo, you guys ate dinner with Ryan Black last night?
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's the dude, man.
Word up, I'm so jealous.
That's the dude. Yo, you know what I meant to tell Ronan? If Ronan can hear me, you and Big Brother are like, oh, you can?
Yeah.
He can. Was that him? Okay.
I can hear you.
Yo, you and Big Brother are like brothers from another mother. I can't wait until I introduce your brother. Like when y'all finally meet, because they are so much alike. Like my cousin was saying that. He said, "Damn, he remind me of R."
Word?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
They got that same type personality.
Wow.
And Ronan is a cool dude, man. That's my dude.
Oh man, I'm listen. I gotta come down there at the end of the month.
I hate that I'm so far away, man. All the way over here on the West Coast, all the way over here in Oregon. I hate I'm so far away. It seems like everybody either down south or on the east, man.
Yo, what's up, Emoji?
Yo, Emoji, you know what? You live in Portland though, right?
I am. I just heard you. I listened to a show. It was one of your old shows, and you was talking about a brother from Portland who was like an electrician or something that you know.
Dad. My dad.
You said your dad?
Yeah, my dad lives out there.
Man, we gotta link up, man.
Word up! I got to come visit him sometime this year. But yeah, my dad lives in Oregon. He's got his locksmith and electronic security business out there, and I've been out there a couple of times. So next time I come out there, we'll definitely link up because I don't know where black people be at out there.
Because it's only like 13 of them and they separated.
Word. There used to be a sister in our group. I forget what her name was.
Hang on, I'm trying to connect to my I'm trying to make a connection real quick because I want to say something on the topic.
Sure,
give me a second.
Go ahead, bro.
I really wish we can get Salima on. Can she can't get on? I would love to get Helena.
Emoji, go ahead, bro.
Oh man, Helena, please get on. Because Helena went to Rwanda with us. I hope she can get on. But that dude Jamal is a straight up fraud, man. And I hate to even say, like I said, I'm still hurt by that, man. I really am hurt by that. Because I didn't want to believe it, man. I didn't want to, like when the tour guide told us the stuff that he sent to him by text, I didn't believe it. Like I was like, well, wait a minute, it must be some type of confusion or something.
I mean, bro, that's Belle's husband.
Right. And when you can make Belle, I'm gonna tell you, and this is the God's honest truth, and y'all know this because you've seen her, you've heard her. Mm-hmm. Belle is the most positive black woman I think I've ever met. She is so positive. I mean, she was on, like, Don Ash usually gets a lot of trolls on his live stream. Belle is so positive, even the trolls couldn't really do anything.
Word.
It's amazing. Like she is really a wonderful sister. He pissed her off.
Word.
She cursed him out.
My thing, can I say my piece real quick?
Go ahead.
Do your thing, bro.
Go ahead.
Peace, y'all. Let me hurry up because I'm in the car on the phone. But my whole thing with the Kala and the Jamal thing is how you like bash the organization, but then you try to branch off of it and put LIN in it and try to start going all hard and promoting BAIO. Like if you in such disagreement with it, just go create your own shit. Cool.
Right.
That's what bitch ass Negroes do. Go ahead. Cool. Straight up. Like, but why would you talk so bad about it and like, oh no, this the real BAIO now? When you know damn well. That's what bothers me because people who actually love the BIO and want to see it grow and grow to what it's supposed to be is looking at this, and you got us out here looking like some RGB camp.
Exactly.
You got us out here looking like ADOS and FBA and FBI and CIA, man.
Yeah.
Like, Just get your ass on. You could even leave and talk bad about us. Cool. That's promotion. But don't leave and say, no, but this is a real one. That shit bothered the hell out of me. That's the only thing I want to really say, because I didn't been in those organizations that I really was putting my effort into, and then they had the infighting and stuff like that. So I just don't want to see that happen with BIAO.
Dude, if you think it bothers you, put that on steroids and add whatever other enhancements I'm telling you, that really, because I'm gonna mirror the same thing that you're saying. It just makes us look like everybody else.
Yep.
Thank you.
I've been on here talking about how it's unified and all of this, and you basically try to put a sledgehammer to everything that we've been building up at this point. And why? Because of your ego?
Yeah. I told you, man, power and control is a hell of a drug. But even the little stuff like, nah, we don't even want your money. We want your expertise. We don't want you just coming up here talking about black power. We're serious about building black power. Learn the skill, then come talk to us. That type of shit. That's different. That's not saying, hey, here's our PayPal, here's our GoFundMe. We're just trying to throw an event. You know what I mean? And that's what it seemed like he wants to do.
Let me
just want to control some shit.
Let me just say this while I see it. CD, you'll see in the chat room, CD.
Yep.
That's Clarence. That's him in the chat room. That's a good brother. I don't know if he heard all the bullshit that went on before that, but I'm going to be sure to tell him once we get off of here if he wants to know. Well, I won't do it now. I don't want to resurrect that. But I want to talk to him after we get off if he didn't hear it.
Yo, I want to say something also, because this bad saying, and I wanted to get to it, but we got around to other stuff. It was Brother Patrick on many occasions that tried to tell Kala that we needed to beef up our security. It was Brother Patrick on many occasions that tried to beef up our security. It was Brother Patrick on many occasions that suggested that we password protect our website and many other things, and Kala kept telling him no. That's his expertise.
And actually, Deshaun Deshaun actually was the first one. If you go back, I'm not on the Ning site, but I think if you go back to 2015, Deshaun had a problem with the security and that post. I'm able to go to a post, or I was. Actually, you can do it now. You can go to a post, go to the BAIO Ning site, go to a post and post that anywhere, and people can go right to that post. There's no security on that site.
Yep. I remember when Brother Deshaun did that too. I remember when he had said that, because I remember talking to you about it. Like I called you and we started talking about it. Mm-hmm. But you had told me don't worry about it, because that's when we was in process of doing the BAIOAfricstan.com.
Yep. I'm trying to get this thing to Patrick, because he's saying he can't do it through the phone, so I'm going to email him the link because he wants to get on.
So, Big Brother CD, I never met you, Big Brother, but I stand behind you 1,000%. You know what I'm saying? I stand behind you 1,000%. And this needs to be said. Like, Jamal had reached out to me before this whole war started, and he said that, he ain't got no problem with me. I'm fam. I don't know if y'all know, but Brother Jamal, he's actually my sister's baby father. So I have a connection to him outside the BIAO. And he said, I ain't got no problem with you, minister, you fam, and that next thing. That's kind of why I'm not kind of verbally destroying him. And
don't worry, I'll do it.
And he said, basically, in the midst of it, he said, having gay people on the tour. So I kept asking him, hold up, bro, who is gay on the tour? He wouldn't answer. Then I asked again, who is gay on the tour? He wouldn't answer. So today is the first time any of us are really hearing who he felt was gay on the tour. Because remember I called you the other day and I told you that? And I was saying I didn't know who he was talking about and you didn't either?
Right.
So if there was actually somebody that was gay on the tour, don't you think we would have known it? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and so now that the good brother's in the chat room, where the fuck is he?
The same place he was when he was writing his face in Rwanda.
Word. But anyway, listen, I'm going to fade to black because Um,
All right.
who's here? Who's this? Whose icon is that?
That's me, the one and only.
It look like Dolomite.
No, it's R. Kelly when he was getting interviewed. They call it Hotep meme. So pretty much they put a kufi on somebody's head and then make some funny ass like a quote that would sound quote unquote Hotepish.
Yo, let me just say before you get started, it is so good to hear your voice.
I would have been here 10 minutes earlier, but I don't know what Holip was doing.
Yeah, and we had. Oh, don't start with me, man. And we had a good time in for fucking Rwanda with Pat and with Bradley. They two cool brothers, man.
Word.
Yeah. So I just wanted to just give like a brief timeline on my end. So
Well, wait, a timeline of what?
like pretty much for like why me and Bradley and Kexia is involved in
No, don't do that.
the fuckery.
Don't do that. We done already touched on that. I think everybody gets it. But what I want to talk to you about is, did this bitch ass nigga Jamal say a goddamn thing when he was in Rwanda to Clarence?
Hell no. Not a fucking word. Not a peep. And
Then he gets to New York and now all of a sudden he's Brock Lesnar now. Oh shit! Yeah, nigga, you wasn't saying shit because Clarence would have fucked your ass up.
There's some new shit to me that Clarence is gay. Cause I'm like, what I saw in the nightclubs that we went to, that ain't look like no gay dude to me. So I don't know where that shit came from.
Clarence is a cool. Clarence is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met, man. My cousin loves him. He said he's a cool dude. Yeah, we all love Clarence. It's like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I wish I could get Helena on, because Helena was there. It's like, I want to get people that was actually there. Oh, she said she's having problems getting on.
Now the tour guide, he did complain about a lot. When
is she in here? Wait a minute.
I think that's her trying to load up. That was me talking in the private chat, by the way, saying that I'm here.
I don't even look at that shit.
You probably should.
Yeah, you and Big Brother are.
But yeah, so yeah, like he mentioned the tour guide a lot, telling us how he felt like it was too much, which I did feel like it was too much. But then after I talked to you before, you and Larry before you left, and then how it got broken down, it made complete sense after the fact of the price.
Let me put it this way: we paid for the tour, and after that, when I first got there, I exchanged maybe $200. I got 2 freaking custom-made suits out of that $200, and I didn't have to get any more money because the only money we had to spend was
Salima's waiting to get into, by the way.
What happened?
Salima's waiting to get in, by the way.
Where? I don't see her.
She wrote that in the private chat that you don't look at.
No, I'm saying I don't see her in the queue.
I don't know who this person that's loading. I don't know.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know if we can kick them out. Oh, there you go.
Oh, what?
There we go.
Y'all throwing me out.
Go. Is that Helena?
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know what hey, I'm sorry. I had a hell of a time trying to get in here.
I don't know if that other one that's trying to load up though. But she got kicked out now. There you go.
Let me see. I think Salima's in there too. Like she's in the stream, so I don't know.
Salima, can you hear us? Also, can you say something?
And I believe Ronan is in there too.
Somebody showing us their crib right now.
Oh, that's Salima. Ronan, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
man.
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man? My condolences, son.
Oh, let me say this shit too, cause
Thanks, man.
Because I don't know why I said it. I mentioned it in the chat. I don't know why this is even the type of conversation about me, anyways. But yeah, like he you want to know why he a bitch ass nigga? Anyways, hold up, you told me. But for everybody else that don't know, apparently, him and Kala was. I don't know why this again is a conversation, a type of conversation about me. Apparently, me getting buns on the trip was apparently a topic of conversation between them two for some odd reason. I don't know why. It makes me think that they wanted me to fuck them instead. That's how I took it. I'm like, why does that even fucking matter?
Like I said, man.
Mind you, he was getting buns too, and unfortunately, I feel bad for her because
Yeah, she's the sweetest girl, man.
yeah,
That girl is
I
real
really
cool.
feel bad for her because she gave a bitch ass nigga some poom and was treating her poorly at that. So
That was a sweet girl, man. We got mad love for her.
like that to me that was some suspect shit. It made me think that these motherfuckers wanted me to fuck them instead. Like they got mad at that.
And I gotta say it. I'm sorry, my cousin. I gotta say it because it's so real to me right now. Jamal must think Clarence is cute. Cause why are you focusing and concentrating on him?
Question: has he specified any kind of proof about him being gay?
No, of course not.
So he wants him to be gay. That's what it is.
It's called lying and slandering people, man. And like I said, my thing is this: if you got a problem, I'm a very direct person. Kala can tell you that. If I got a problem, if Kala do anything to piss me off, I'm dialing his number. Right, Minister?
Yep.
We all do that.
Yep.
I'm going straight to him. I'm not talking behind his back or none of that shit. I'm going right to you.
Yep.
So this whole thing about you throwing accusations at people when you get to Istanbul, Turkey is whack to me. He was in the face of the tour. Him and the tour guide was friendly, brother, up until the point where he got to Istanbul. Then all of a sudden he turned into Brock Lesnar.
Man.
Yo, fuck you. He turned into a tough guy in Istanbul. Then he waits to get back to Philly to turn into a tough guy with Clarence. When him and Clarence was there for 10 days, at any point, if he had a problem or issue,
it was
well, yeah, he didn't go on the trip in between. He didn't go to that. But he had many opportunities to state his case. He could have said it to Clarence to his face, or he could have said it to me, like, yo, Harlem, why you hanging out with these gay dudes? You could have said that to me. You ain't said shit, nigga, until you get back to Philly.
Well, listen, you brothers and sisters that's in the chat room, this is something that you need to see. You guys were here earlier where this dude was in the chat room, mad talking about how the guy was gay. Now the brother's in the chat room with us, and where is he?
No, I think somebody banned him out the chat room. That's why you don't see him.
Yeah, you wouldn't see him anyway, even if he wasn't banned, because he ain't gonna say that shit. He might say it because it's the internet. He might say it in the chat room, but I guarantee you, he ain't gonna see Clarence anymore face to face. That's gonna be like if I see that Bomani dude.
Oh.
Niggas is quick to talk greasy when they in the safety over a telephone. There's a whole lot of greasy talking going on when it comes, like if they someplace else. But when they're in your face, somehow they never have the energy or the heart to say that to you.
Yeah, I just don't understand that shit. But go ahead, Dawud.
I mean, so do y'all feel we said all we need to say?
I think so. I think the consensus is clear. The BAIO is at BAIOAfricstan.com or BAIOAfricstan.org. One of those two, that's where you're going to get to the website of the official and only BAIO. There are not two BAIOs. There's the real BAIO, and then there's some shit that KalaGenesis has on the name.
Yep.
That's the reality of the situation. And I didn't want this to happen. And me and Minister have been avoiding it for the longest. And like I said, it kind of ruining our own credibility by protecting this nigga.
Yes.
Yep.
So now, don't come to me talking about, oh, you talking about Kala when I've been protecting that bitch ass nigga all these years.
Word. My God. Yeah, I have no idea.
You know what's funny? Like he's literally doing the same shit that he was accusing me, Bradley, and Kexi and
Of
Jamie.
course. Listen,
we've been saying that all along.
I said this for the longest. You ever had a situation? A girl will do this. She'll say, or a guy will do it. Girl or guy. They'll go to you and say, "Oh, I hope you ain't fucking nobody else. Or if you're gonna do that, don't make it one of nobody I know." And da da da. The reason why they're telling you all this is because that's what they doing to you.
Exactly.
They fucking your friends.
Yep. Your best friend.
Right.
Word.
This is projection. They afraid that you're going to do the same thing to them that they doing to you.
Mm-hmm.
The dude disconnected the PayPal from the Ning site in June.
June. That's a long time ago.
June. Stop me when I start lying.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what was the shit he was trying to do when we saw Spider-Man? That you was telling us about?
Trying to do a what?
He was trying to do something. I think like trademark something or something like that, or something to do with the logo.
Yeah.
He tried to trademark the logo and say that he put me and Minister's name on the trademark. I'm like, how do you do that?
No, Akachi just asked us a question, and I think it's an important question. He said, "Can we start the calls back up now?" I think that we should make it a mission to have a conference call at least every 2 weeks. So yes, we will. Because
it gotta be a new number though.
Oh no! Anything that we doing right now, we're revamping everything. Like the new site is going to be on a new host and all of that. We taking care of all the, we dotting all the I's and crossing the T's, and this is going to be, a fully updated, secure site.
Word.
Because
we got the right people working on it.
Because like they mentioned before, we've been mentioning the security on the site for the long. You know what's funny? They actually did implement it. Then I'm assuming he took it off randomly. And then what was even funnier, because I got an elephant memory. So one time at Dinah's show, he said that if you're afraid of being seen a part of like an organization like this, that you don't need to be a part of the org.
Right.
If you're afraid of being seen,
yes.
Because remember he's trying to use your regular name on the site. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
He was trying to make it a law. You got to use your government name on the site.
I mean, I personally want that too. That's why we kind of made it implemented on the new site, kind of like that. But at least it's more secure in that site. There's not like anybody could just come in and see every goddamn thing on the site,
right?
Without having an account.
And you can do that right now. By the way, if you go to this site, you can go to a post, take that post the link somewhere else, and your person has full access to it. It's not secure, but that's not our problem. Like I don't give a fuck. That's not our problem because we're not on Ning.
Yeah.
Right.
We have total and complete control over our content and our website.
That's Ning Negro problems.
So, and let me just say this. I got to say this because I was talking about this today, and you know what the extinction level event for Kala is?
What's that?
Loss of control of the BAIO. You know what me and the Minister Dawud's heaven is? Eventually not being in control or having anything to do with anything administrative wise with the BAIO. Because it'll be self-perpetuating.
Yeah, just watching it grow, bro. Like,
right.
It's like with me, listen, y'all know me as Brother Minister Dawud of Muhammad's Temple number 13. What many of y'all don't know is Muhammad's Temple number 13 is being run right now by my student.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that amazing? By my student. He's got full control. He comes to me and asks me, certain things. He's going to put on Savior's Day this year. It's been for 2-3 years now. That's how things are supposed to go. He's in his 30s. I'm almost 50. That's how things are supposed to go. It's not supposed to be me as a 50-year-old. I'm telling 20-year-olds what to do. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm still trying to hold control and you
micromanage
out of here. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're secure enough. And I ain't gonna lie to you. In the beginning, it was hard for me to let go. But my mentor coached me through it, and I was like, you know what, bro? I'm not coming down there today. And when he saw that I wasn't gonna come down to the temple, he started trying to teach. He started learning his voice, all kinds of stuff like that. We got somebody else.
Yeah, no, that's telling me. But like what Black Cat Chair Production said, I DK why I don't know why he was trying to control the BIO when it wasn't supposed to be controlled by any one person. That's kind of my problem because people are creating a hierarchy, which I think there probably should be. But he's a self-proclaimed leader. Nobody put him in that position.
And he can't be a leader. But
if anything, I would say it would probably be one of y'all two, or maybe Holip at the like probably Holip will probably be seen as a leader by the people.
Indeed.
But not fucking Dan sure wasn't Kala. Well, not for me. Since day one, it wasn't for me. I'm like, I just saw him as just a regular member that was just really cool, or it was like a day one member.
I
never saw him as no leader.
I am Lucy. Tell him to go fuck himself.
Actually, send him a link.
Send him a link? Is he trying to come in?
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I can get Clarence on.
Okay, I'll exit out. I'll exit out if y'all.
No. Stay.
Okay.
Oh, you gotta kick.
Actually, I want to talk to you.
You gotta kick you first. Oh,
no, you good. You good, Ronan?
No, because I don't know if you can have more than six people.
Right?
Oh, what? Oh, well, is he even there? Is he still there?
No, Ronan's there. He just said
no, I'm not Ronan. Clarence.
Yeah, he's here.
He's here. Okay.
If you were looking
okay.
Chat,
hold on. How can I get? Let me see.
Huh?
Oh wait, I can hit. Wait, how do I get to him? The link to him? Because I can't do it through the YouTube. Let's see. How did I do this? I think I'm gonna hit him on WhatsApp.
He wants to come back in the chat. Jamal?
Supposedly.
Come on, man. That fucking bitch made motherfucker talking this shit. He will come back in here?
That's what I'm saying.
Shit,
it's like,
yo.
talk about
on,
what?
Man. Motherfucker live 20 minutes from me. Man, you talking all that slick shit. Bring your ass up in here, motherfucker. Running around with cheerleaders and a goddamn tutu on, following behind collar and shit, like some little ass puppy dog. Bitch made cheerleader.
Yo,
you
Minister.
In the chat, you hear me saying that shit, and come at me, motherfucker, say some shit. I sat down last night with Holip, his cousin, Mac, and Carl. These honorable brothers, man. They treated me, man, like we've been friends for 20 fucking years. You come up in here, you saying this slick shit. You gonna go to Africa? You gonna break bread with people? You gonna come on do some bullshit like that? Nah, man, fuck that. And I apologize,
Minister.
man. I'm not.
Nah, do
man.
not apologize for shit, son.
Listen,
because
what you say
my
here,
mindset, man, is just, man, with my aunt, my mindset is, I'm like,
man.
I'm just not. I'm not feeling it.
Like, listen, what you just said, he already know, because he actually he done this with us multiple times, bro. But prior to going to Rwanda,
yo,
he chilled with us, ate with us, all that, making jokes, all that.
Yeah.
It's not like we just met him one time and that was it. Like, every time we went out to go see a movie or something, he was there. Same situation, ate, talked for like 2-3 hours, maybe more, and then kept it moving, talked in the chat.
That's some truly snake ass shit, man. And like I said, I was really, like, when I found out that went down, I was hurt by that shit, man.
Yeah.
Yo,
Helena was there. I'm glad she's on the line. You can ask her, talk to her, Minister. Ask her. She's right there.
First of all, sis, it's a pleasure and an honor.
Yes, finally. Hello, Dawud.
How you doing, sis?
Good.
Glad that you're aboard. Glad that you're a member.
Yes, sir.
So, I wish I could have been there with y'all that time, but
Yeah. Listen, none of this mess. None of this was said, at least not in my presence. None of this was said. That
right.
All of this that's going on in the chat room and wherever else he's saying this stuff. None of this was said in my presence. So I'm stunned.
Yeah.
Like everybody else, like where is this coming from?
We was hanging with this dude. We went
had
to the
a
club
great
with this
time.
dude. Yeah.
Great time. Fantastic.
I really think
I don't get it,
bro.
I don't get it.
I think he wants some on the narcotic. I don't know. Maybe he got some shit in DR. I don't know.
I know one thing. He's doing an unusual amount of focusing on a dude, and usually there's a term for that.
Yo, and here's
Oh,
the thing,
love.
though. The thing is, if you notice, here's the thing. If you notice, no matter how many times y'all kept saying that this is not true, he kept trying to enforce it. And now we got the brother that he was talking about in the chat room saying that that's false, and he's trying to get back in here. You know what I'm saying? It I don't know. I don't know. To me, anyway. First of all, it's a pleasure and honor to hear Brother Ronan's voice for the first time. You can hear Jersey in his voice. So that was a beautiful thing, and definitely a blessing to hear his voice. And
Thank you.
Outside of all this other shit, y'all fam. You know what I'm saying? So to me, maybe this is a bad situation for all us to come together, but it's still a beautiful thing that we're together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so this is what I'm trying to say to you brothers and sisters in the chat room. You see how we deal with each other when we're around with each other. You know what I'm saying? Above and beyond all of this garbage, we're family. We got love for each other. And we all have a common cause. So if you're worried about the future of the BIO, see how we interacting with each other. It's alive and healthy. All of the magnetic personalities are over here. All of the righteous people are over here. All of the people with good intent is over here. So why would you go over there? You're gonna go over there, and here's the thing: it's almost like this. It's like I don't know if you've ever been in this situation. Sometimes I've been on the other side of the situation where you're protecting the dude from getting jumped, and he wants to go back over to the place where they keep whooping his ass. And you say, listen, if you go over to 3rd Street and 4th Avenue, I can't protect you. Them niggas gonna be waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with me. You guys, if you think Kala was an asshole before, we can't protect you from him now.
Yeah.
So he's got free reign to treat you like garbage. At least before, even on Facebook, I would comment on his post when he say some stupid shit and be like, "Hey, Kala, excuse me, I'm cursing in front of a woman." But I'd say, Kala, that's not right. He'd be like, "Oh, I knew you were coming to check me," because he knew. Now, I'm not there to block him. I'm not there to to check him. And like I was saying in the chat room, the BIAO chat room, I said, one of the things I feel blessed about today is that with the death of Kobe Bryant, may he rest in peace, I don't have to worry about Kala saying some really stupid shit that I'm going to have to clean up later. Because first he'll say R.I.P., then he'll come behind and say, I don't know why we worship celebrities and they were swirling and some crazy stuff. And you'd be like, what is the purpose of you saying that on a day like this? That's the way this dude was.
Mm-hmm.
And either me or Holip always used to have to do damage control. And my thing is this, you know what I'm saying? Good, bad, or indifferent. Kala's a single man who's supposed to be making 6 figures. Hint, hint.
Now, don't you got a fiance?
He's got a mail order bride. Anyway, let me stop.
Shit. If that's the case, I'm Batman. I ain't got no goddamn girlfriend.
But the reality of it is that you're a single man with a business. Why didn't you go on the tour? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you go?
No desire to go on the tours.
So you didn't really intend to go on the tour because you didn't want to go. And so instead he goes, well, I'm going to Liberia first. He revealed this on his page. He says, instead of going to Rwanda, I'm going to go to Liberia first. Where'd you get that from? So,
and he was singing the praises of
That's what he said, bro.
Rwanda.
That's exactly what he said. He said it would be. He said it would be something if I went to Rwanda first. He said because of my loyalty to Liberia. So he's supposed to be going to Liberia like any week now.
His loyalty to like, every time I seen Kala speaking, all he's doing is throwing daggers at Liberia. Y'all ain't this.
Nah,
that.
he don't. Nah, he don't. That he doesn't do. I gotta attest to that.
No, Patrick.
He don't do it now.
Patrick, he's not on Facebook. He does on Facebook.
Oh, so on Facebook so his I don't have a Facebook account. So that means on diner shows he's praising, but on Facebook he on some other shit.
Yeah.
Facebook is
Okay.
fun. On Facebook is every man for himself on this dude's page. He throws daggers at Liberia, Zambia, Nigeria, Rwanda. Everybody in Africa is unintelligent and not like worthy of us even dealing with. On his page.
But he's a nationalist.
Exactly. And the people that he argues the most is continental Africans. So you see how it's counterproductive to, it's counterproductive.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's counterproductive for us to say that we're the Black African Infrastructure Organization, and one of our founding members is constantly telling Africans that y'all are uneducated. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? It's almost like you're living in the bizarro world. So, for me, I'm happy
she's talking that dumb shit.
Right. So,
I'm
anyway,
surprised none of these dudes are ADOS, honestly, at this point. Cause I even saw Jamal talking about one live in the comments saying how everybody don't like African Americans and shit like that. So I'm like, yo, all right, whatever, bro.
Oh my God, bro. He goes on his page and he compares Philadelphia's infrastructure with Rwanda's infrastructure. Like, that's something to be doing. It's just like, see, that's what I'm saying to y'all. This is good for us.
Just in case he forgot, the government bombed the black neighborhood in Philadelphia. So if that's the same kind of infrastructure you want.
Why is he controlling? Like, first of all, that's a false equivalence. Like, why are you comparing Rwanda to Philadelphia? What the fuck? Is he trying to say that we control Philadelphia?
Yes, so.
Like, Rwandans have control over their land.
Exactly. You know, it's almost like this. It's like if you're in the music industry, right, and you don't have Sony or Interscope behind you. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have them behind you pushing your product or whatever, but you're distributing your own product. You will make more money distributing your own product, but you may not have as many sales.
Right.
It's the same. To me, that's the same equivalency when you say, oh, Rwanda's GDP is this. Yes, but Rwanda is in charge of its GDP.
Exactly.
They're in charge of the food. They're in charge of their GDP. They're in charge of their customs. They're in charge of anything that we talk about being in charge of. They are, which is the reason why y'all went over there in the first place.
Thank you.
To observe black people being in charge of their own stuff, and you went over there to sleep with women.
He can do that in Philadelphia.
I don't got a problem with it. I mean, this will act like. Yeah, don't be doing it, and then somebody else is doing it, and then you got a problem with them doing it.
No, what I'm saying, brother, is that you guys went over there, and if you absconded with the locals, it was a byproduct of it was a.
Yeah, it wasn't like we was going out of our way to get pussy.
Exactly.
That's not what happened.
Exactly. You didn't go over there to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like
that was not the fucking goal.
Like, I'm quite sure if you had a choice between meeting the Rwandan business development and doing that, which one would you have
definitely
picked?
went to the business development.
Exactly. And this guy, and I have to say this about this dude, because his idea of Africa, every like when I look at his pictures on Facebook, all he's doing is holding up a fucking drink.
Yep.
That's not him in Africa. That's
this
him
is
in the
Africa.
Dominican Republic.
Yeah, in the Dominican, wherever he goes, all he's doing is holding a drink and sitting at a fucking bar.
Yeah.
I think he's been to Tanzania once.
In Costa Rica.
But he always go to the Dominican Republic though. So that's why he be defending them.
And what does he do when he goes there?
I don't fucking know.
You know.
We know.
You know what he did. He pillages the
Oh,
locals.
you know why? He going to DR because he goes to DR
Because he can't catch wreck in his
getting
hometown.
put
Anyway, let me stop.
banging chicks. That's what he's doing. That's what that's
him
about.
whip you.
That's what
Hey, man,
yo.
it is
I
what
know
it
a
is.
whole bunch of brothers. That's what
Oh,
they
wait.
do, man.
Clarence is on.
And matter of fact, one of my cousins used to do that shit. Like,
Yo, Clarence.
yo, we
Peace,
going to
people.
Peace.
Clarence.
What's going on?
pick up chicks.
I heard some of what was
Yeah,
going
I
on.
my cousin
I was
that.
actually driving back
I'm like,
from a
yo, that's the truth, though.
class.
Yo, real. Tell you where to go to. And Holip is that's just holding the drink.
Turn this off. Yep. Hello?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, there it is. What's
Yeah,
up,
I heard
bro?
some of, not too much. I heard some of what was going on, but I was actually driving, so I couldn't chime in. And when I heard something about, I heard you talking about something, talking about Jamal, and then all of a sudden I'm supposed to be gay. I'm trying to figure all this stuff out. And I kid you not, I almost swerved. I was just like, I'm like, I was going all day today and yesterday in classes and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden to hear this today. So I'm trying to figure out why would Jamal say some things about me? And I'm just like, I haven't given anybody any reason to say anything about me.
Exactly. Zero reason. But you know what? This is the cool thing, Clarence. When you a good person and you a good dude, you ain't gotta say nothing because we all got your back.
I see.
Completely.
Because I lit his ass up on here off that bullshit.
I'm gonna have to watch this from the beginning. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, listen to it and you'll see.
Yeah, I was
He's a lying ass bitch.
Like,
But why? And this is something that I don't understand. He was hardly there. I took shots of him. I took shots of y'all. I took shots of everything. I've never said anything out the way. Not interested in saying anything out the way regarding coming on to some dude. But why didn't he say anything to me? Why would he say anything away? And I do agree with you because when he got to Dubai, he started to send all these messages to our tour guide, and I thought that was foul because I even told you, I said he needs to be put out for what he did. I said because it was the principle. I said it was the principle. You can't do that and have that come up on the BAIO as if the BAIO is supposed to be down with that. I told you straight up to your face. You should have put his ass out then.
Yep, you were right. You were right. But and I'm like I said, these guys, man, like with Jamal, and Patrick can attest, we never had no issues with this dude. We was hanging with this dude multiple times, never had a fucking problem with him.
Till he got on that plane.
Yep. Then when he got to Istanbul, he turned into Brock Lesnar. He was
nah, but I was telling them earlier, I'm like, because he was with us while I was gone. He was showing like his problem with the tour guide, saying that shit cost too much, blah blah.
But wasn't he still like when we left?
Yes.
But wasn't Gabby still there?
No.
The tour guide wasn't there?
No.
Yes, Gabby was there. Gabby dropped us off the last day. Jamal left early.
Yeah, he had to have been there.
Gabby
No,
was
I'm
there.
talking about when y'all was
Jamal left early.
born at Lake Kivu.
Yeah, but we came back.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. While y'all was gone, he was telling us all of this.
Oh, okay. Well, I can believe that because when we got back, he turned back into a church mouse.
Yeah, exactly, because he still wasn't nowhere to be seen. I think we had like one dinner with him, and then that was it. And then he went back to his room, and then he didn't even come out after that. He didn't come out to play.
Yeah, probably
He
did
went in there
meet
to
with
talk
him
or
one time
something.
because that was when we went to the Indian restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
and then after
We went to the
that,
Asian restaurant.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then because like the second time we went for the Fiona's birthday. That's the last time I saw him because he left.
The moral of the story is He did not say shit when he was there.
Yep.
Nope. He wait till he get all the way to hell home, because I'd have corrected his ass right on the fucking spot, straight up.
Yeah, and by corrected, I'm assuming you mean bust his ass.
Because he's just real. It's just real stupid. It's real sloppy when you see people's motivation, because they can slander you when you're on the internet and when you're far away. But when you're in their face, people don't talk shit.
I just don't know where he got the gay shit
of
from.
social media.
Like that's why I'm not.
I don't know where the hell he got that shit from either.
Because I'm like, yo, out of all the nightclubs he went with us with while you was there, and I'm like, because to me,
I'm not even entertaining that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, that damn show
For
is
real.
no good to me.
I'm not even because oh god. It's an attempt to slander, an attempt to try to throw shade at us and try to legitimize your bullshit. And the only thing they got on that Ning site is a bunch. If you is one thing worse than being Kala is being a Kala sycophant. That's who you roll. That's who you rolling with like that. That's whose back you got. Okay, let's see how that work out for you.
Now, do you say he already exposed them anyway?
Yeah.
Dude was trying to be a spy for Kala, got exposed by Kala.
Yeah. Kala was the one that dropped dime on him. Kala was the one who dry snitched on him. How you think we know that you was doing what you did? Because Kala told us. So he already getting sunned.
Wow, man.
When being a double agent goes wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, like what Mark said, or Mac put a post on that movie Carlito's Way when the dude betrayed Carlito, and he's like, "All right, where we going? No, you staying right here." Bam.
Crazy, bro.
The life of a snitch, the life of a snake.
And he's still rolling with him after that? Oh well, he didn't know. That's why.
And like I said, well, Clarence didn't hear this, but when you listen, you can listen to the live stream again. Kala has taken the Cafe Press site, the merchandising site on the Ning site, and made it go to his bank account.
Yeah, I did. I heard that part. I did.
Yeah.
I did hear when you said that, because I was in and out, then talking to my mom at the same time. So.
And that's a fact. Now, why he did it or his motivations, hey, we can discuss that and people can ponder and say, well, oh, maybe this or maybe that. But the facts is that. That's a fact.
Wow. See, that's craziness.
So, but anyway, y'all, I'm getting off of here because I got to go to work.
Yeah, understood.
But the bottom line is whole live stream. BAIO is on BAIOAfricstan.com or BAIOAfricstan.org.
They both lead to the same site.
They both go to the same place, but that's where the BAIO is. The BAIO is not on Ning. If you go to Ning, and I'm letting you know this, so if you want to do this, it's on you. You donate to the Ning site, that's going to KalaGenesis pockets. You purchase merchandise on that site, that's going to KalaGenesis. It's not going to the BAIO because everybody that's contributing to the BAIO that money is going toward the BAIO website at the .com or the .org, and that's a fact.
All right.
So, and on that note, I will holler at you good people later. Minister got off.
All right.
I think he got cut.
Yeah.
All right.
But, peace, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace, everybody.
All right. Later.
Peace.
Okay.
Yes.